Yes, everybody. Rush the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well, my friends. If you're new around here, about 40% of you new around here haven't hit that little subscribe button. So if you could do, it would help us out tremendously. And while you're there, give it a cheeky like. And actually check to see if you are subscribed. Because you might just, because the algorithm, you're watching some of our videos, naturally get presented with them on the home screen. So go back and have a look. And where if the little button which is subscribe is red, you're not subscribed, click it, it goes grey, and give us a little like and a little comment, even if it's just an emoji, a crossed Amazon emoji or something in the chat. All good in the hood. Now it's a couple of hours before kickoff. I did the match day morning outside the London Stadium, and as we always do, really, we try and predict the starting 11 ahead of the game in a couple of short hours. From the Graham Potter press conference, he spoke quite openly about Crescencio Somerville, saying, in all honesty, it's going to be touch and go. I think if you see Crescencio in the squad, it'll be on the bench, in all honesty. We've got some big games, and I'm not saying tonight's not a big game because it is, but we've got some really tough games, and I think giving him another week off could benefit us longer term. We know, obviously, that Bowen's probably going to be, could even be next week. Really, possibly, if not the week after. He's doing, it seems like, training already on his fractured foot, which is mental, but you don't necessarily know how deep the fracture was. It might have been just a small one, but still, to get back in time, if not February, a week after, and we're in February anyway. And then we know, obviously, Antonio. We know it. No, the Antonio and Fulkrug, we know, are both unlikely, or both long-term injured. We know also that Areola is likely to be back on the bench on his short injury. Todibo is an interesting one as well. We haven't really heard much about him in terms of timeframes of whatever his injury is. He's just not injured. He's just injured. He's not playing. Obviously, they were all up behind, in the bench, in the auxiliary bench on Tuesday, which was great to see. So everyone's all putting together as a team. But let's try and have a little butcher's hook and see what we can do and have a look at the team, shall we? It might help if I actually got it all ready before I click the button, but it doesn't matter. Now let's start. There's a few gimmies. For me, Fabianski stays in goal. You may see next week Areola come in and take over. For me, Areola is very much the preferred goalkeeper of a Potter type system. I don't necessarily. I think in the Villa game, you saw it to some extent, particularly the first half of possible. I don't think for the Fulham game we saw it because players haven't, got injured who will probably be key to that way of playing. And I've got a feeling today will be a similar sort of system, a similar 11 as well. Oh, shut up, Siri. So with that, let's think. So I'm just having a bit of a think. Bear with. Let's try. I'm going to try something. So I'm assuming that Todibo's out. We know. So if we went with the back three, it's likely going to be Kilman. Hang on, undo. It's likely going to be Mavropanos. There he is. And I'm going to go with... I'm going to... Sufal, but I'd prefer Wan-Bissaka in that position. But the thing is, we're a little, not necessarily hamstrung, but at the moment, with all the injuries that we've got, I just need to sort that out, otherwise my OCD is going to kick in. It's just... Thank you. There we go. Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? Because I think you almost got to build the team around. Obviously, there was no last night at the under-21s. No Lewis Orford, no Ollie Scarles. Both, we assume will be in the matchday squad. along with probably Kane and Casey as well. Does Ollie start today? I don't think he does. For me, I think Emerson. Oh, be quiet, Siri. Emerson, I think's playing okay. I'm going to move these in so it doesn't look so weird. Emerson's been playing okay. Obviously, he went off at half time. See, the thing is, if I put if Wan-Bissaka there, that could interchange. I think Wan-Bissaka could come in. I think, although I prefer Wan-Bissaka there, I think at the moment, I think eventually when Somerville comes back and Bowen and stuff, I think you'll see Wan-Bissaka transitioning back into that sort of right-hand side of the back three. But at the moment, he's sort of doing a job there, so to speak. I mean, Palace are no mugs at the moment. Palace are playing really well. And that slightly worries me. But then Fulham went into the side, and they've been playing very well. And obviously, we got the win. Some say maybe quite fortuitously, and some extent probably right sometimes. Then we got the midfield sort of conundrum. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be very similar to last time. See, last time you had Paqueta almost playing as a striker. And then you had sort of the rest just behind him. So I mean, I think Souček is playing well enough to deserve obviously a start. And obviously sort of captain at the moment, Alvarez, and then personally, I would do this. And whether he's brave enough to do this is up for debate. I just don't think. I mean, Rodriguez kind of worked in that sort of very much deeper position. I mean, he could do that. He could, drop it or play, or he could even play a back four. It does change from a back four to a back three. When someone like an Alvarez drops in between the two centre halves. I mean, that's something which works as well. And then bringing in sort of a bit like, and then sort of more like that with him and him sort of doing the donkey work, so to speak. It's not ideal, but I think at the moment we're in a situation where we sort of are playing very much square peg round holes at the moment. I mean, there's justification to, maybe. I mean, what you could do is, would you do that? Probably not. I was thinking maybe going to a back three, putting Ollie Scar's left wing back, taking off Rodriguez, putting Soler in there alongside Alvarez. Possibly. I mean, if Somerville plays, that changes it all. If Somerville is available to play, then I think you'll end up seeing something like that. Or indeed, Somerville playing right wing back, which is what he's done before. Yeah, because you could obviously do this, and how many times have I changed his formation? But it is adaptable. It is adaptable. You could do that. Somerville played right wing backs for something like that. And then maybe push Soler more forward and have something like that. It's pretty much the same. It's one person difference, really. I would like to see Somerville back, obviously, but I wouldn't want him to basically be rushed back, and then we end up losing him for a lot longer than we would normally do. I really want Todibo back because I think that just, for me, shores up that defence a bit more and gives a bit more options. Yes, he's can be susceptible to a mistake, but so can Mavropanos. And I like Wan-Bissaka in that centre back position, sort of the back three. But then if they want to go to 4 at the back, he can drop into that right back position. But to be honest, I think I don't know how many carries did he do for the Fulham game. He did run a lot with the ball, if I remember correctly, and he does tend to do that, old Wan-Bissaka. Let me have a quick check when my computer wants to work. So we want that one. 9 ups. Where was he? Where's old Wan-Bissaka? Where's Aaron? What was his stats? 67 touches, 78% pass completion rate. So he had a lot of the ball. He did lose possession 15 times though. Although he's where his defensiveness is clearly his strength, and obviously one of the best 1-to-1 defenders in the Premier League, as we've always been told. He does have a sort of what's the word? A sort of freeness when he has the ball going forward, which I quite like. He seems to be really raw with the ball. He'll just run with it, and maybe sometimes overplay it a little bit. But he's always wanted to take the ball forward, which I really like. Same as Emerson on the right hand side, and then with Ollie Scholes on the bench to bring on to replace Emerson. Yeah, I mean we are light. We know we're light. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Andy Irving giving a run out as well. I thought he comes on, and what he possesses Souček doesn't have, in terms of that sort of ability on the ball. But Souček, and he's like, as Anton said the other day, he's proper West Ham, and he just gives his heart and gives his all, and you need players like that around you to allow the likes of Paqueta, Soler, Kudus the ability to play forward on the front foot more. If you've got people like Souček, they're just doing the donkey work, same as Alvarez, really, to some extent. But let me know what you think. I'm we're still early doors in this Potter era, and I don't think we really necessarily know what his preferred side is, and indeed, once you get past the January transfer window, what side he's going to have going forward. We know obviously Lucas Paqueta is likely to feature for the rest of the season with his hearing being pushed to the summer, which is fantastic news. Now we need to utilise him to the best of our abilities. And he was asked a question in the press conference whether it was a case of him knowing Lucas's best position for West Ham, or whether it's a case to give him several different options in terms of how he can play. And I think that's what's really important with Lucas. And he's got a 100% score rate since Lopetegui, since Potter has come in 2 goals in 2 games. Can he make it 3 in 3 today? I bloody well hope so. Anyway, thank you for your attention, as per usual. Don't forget to like, comment, share, all that good stuff. And I'll speak to you very, very soon. Much love. Bye-bye.